Charlie, I mean, you're hanging out with the stars these days, and you got all these breaking news items. You're just a man on the go.
Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, Anthony Weiner. Where else can I go? I can't go nowhere but up from there, I guess, right? Covering Wall Street. Here's the really interesting thing here, and there's a point I made yesterday to you, Charles, and when we were talking amongst ourselves here at the Fox News headquarters out in Philly. There are no Wall Street executives here, or very, very few of them. There may be some hedge fund guys. There may be some guys from private equity. But there is a dearth of representatives from the major banks. You know, we could count them on our fingers. Tom Nides, the #2 man at Morgan Stanley's here, but you expect that to be here because before he went to Morgan Stanley, he was Hillary Clinton's chief of staff when she was Secretary of State. So that's what it is. It's a pretty Wall Street, un-Wall Street convention, and and listen, I've been covering conventions since 1992. They usually show up. This is one of the first one where they boycotted. And, you know, and I'm seeing it in the numbers too. So these are just the numbers for the top banks: Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan. Threw in a couple of private equity firms in there, tallied it up. They've given $1.34 million to Hillary Clinton. Not a lot of money for, you know, they used to give a lot more than that. So far in the campaign through June, $28K to Donald Trump. You know, he's not even close. But it just shows you, at least so far, Wall Street is staying out of this election. Now, why is that? Well, everybody gives me the same tune. Populism, both on the left and the right. You know, they feel like they're not welcome. You know, Wall Street. There are some Wall Street people raising money for Donald Trump, as you know, Anthony Scaramucci and a few others. But you know, Wall Street. This is a Wall Street, un-Wall Street election, so they're staying out. Now, it may change, and that's one of the interesting things I hear going forward. If you come out of the conventions where where both candidates, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, start pivoting to less class warfare, more of a general election, center-middle, center-right election to win over those battleground states, a lot of people are predicting that, you might see Wall Street get back in. But if this election continues on a very populist note, you know, there's not going to be a lot of Wall Street money. And I will say this, the numbers you hear about fundraising, both from Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, will go down. Hillary is not going to reach her $1.5 billion target. Donald has a target much more modest than that, something like $500 million. If Wall Street isn't in this thing for either of them, they're not going to hit those targets. So that's where we are right now. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens in the days and weeks ahead.
All right. In the meantime, Charlie, before I let you go, there's news breaking out in Sumner Redstone. What are you hearing?
Right. Well, okay, so this is kind of a split decision for both sides. Sumner Redstone, who wants to get rid of Philippe Dumont as the CEO of Viacom. Split decision. Here's why it's split. The judge refused to dismiss the case that was brought against, that would have gotten rid of Dumont. Sumner wants to get rid of Dumont. He won't dismiss the case. That means Dumont stays in there, okay? What does that mean? If Dumont stays in there, this is a big thing. That means that the Paramount deal could happen. Remember, he wants to get rid of the Paramount subsidiary of Viacom. Sumner Redstone and Sherry Redstone, his daughter, do not want to get rid of it. So if he's got some time to do that, which means he does, you know, the case is not being dismissed. He's fighting. I should point out, Dumont filed the case to stay in his job. Getting a little confusing here. Sumner wanted it dismissed so he could fire him. The judge would not dismiss it. Since he's in the job longer, he basically can sell Paramount, and that's what we're hearing he's trying to do right now. Well, so split decision. Plus, they wouldn't give Sumner a competency exam. So, you know, like I said, split decision.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If nothing else, they have a new show out of this, at least a 1- or 2-season soap opera. Charlie Gasparino, thanks a lot, buddy. Really appreciate it.
You got it.